Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's book review is primarily for Misfire by Tammy Euliano. Now, Misfire is for the Kate Downey Medical Mystery Series number 2. So when I got this for review and realized it was the second book in the series, as I always do, what did I do? Headed straight over to my online library to see if book number 1 was available. So let's talk about that for just a moment here. Now, book number 1 is Fatal Intent. And as it is a medical mystery, I wanted to get to know our primary characters. Our primary character is Kate Downey. She's an anesthesiologist and she works very closely with her patients. She's a hands-on doctor and she's a very empathetic doctor. But she's not working alone. In fact, she lives with her Aunt Irm, IRM, from German descent, and she is also a widow, okay? And then there is somebody that is in her corner, and as this other individual is in her corner, things slowly start to develop. Because what happened with him, and his name is Christian, he's a widower. So she's a widow, and he's a widower. So they're both still grieving. But that's not the focus of this story, number 1, Fatal Intent, or number 2, Misfire, or the series in general. That is secondary, maybe 5% of it. But what's important is Kate, Christian, and her Aunt Irm start to realize that somebody right within Kate's circle is causing deaths. Patients are suddenly dying. Patients that have minor procedures that should not have any complications are dying. And then Kate gets blamed for these deaths. So it becomes sort of like a puzzle. And what I love, I'm so glad that I am a series fanatic because I got to know Kate, I got to know Aunt Irm, and I got to know Christian. Okay, and they make a wonderful trio. And Aunt Irm is about 80 years of age, and she is a gem, a true gem, a fabulous character that Tammy Euliano has built into the series. So that is why I read as many connected books as possible when I have a title for review, because I want the full picture. I want the full immersion. I want the connectivity. And that's what I got when I read Fatal Intent. So then I move on to Misfire. Misfire is the purpose of this book review, and for the blog tour that is actually today. And in Misfire, there is a device, an AI, I think it's AICD or AC. Let me just get the initials correct. AICD. I want to say AICD. There is a device that gets implanted to certain heart patients. And that device is called a cadence. It's a defibrillator which will restart the heart when it stops. Okay? It gets implanted kind of near the shoulder, not directly on the heart, but kind of near the shoulder, and it triggers at the right time to stop cardiac arrest. Well, the name of the book is called Misfire. Why? Because the cadence device misfires with a few patients over the course of the book. And the technology, the engineering behind it should have prevented these misfires from taking place. But Kate and Aunt Irm and Christian, by the way, Christian doesn't live where they live. He comes into town because he's actually representing a company who is working on buying Cadence. So now the three are back together and these misfires are taking place. Now, one of the victims of that misfire is Aunt Irm herself. And then there's another character in this book, Dr. Nikki Yarborough. Dr. Nikki Yarborough is the cardiologist who has been implanting these cadence, these AICD or these cadence devices. We'll just call them cadence devices. Dr. Nikki Yarborough has been the one that has been implanting these devices in, and she is Aunt Erm's cardiologist. Now, Kate and Nikki became friends not just at the hospital that they work at together, but also at the gym. And at some point in the story, Kate goes to Nikki and says, I haven't seen you at the gym lately. What's going on? Kate looks washed out, worn out, exhausted, just done. So we see Kate's relationship with Nikki on a personal level and on a professional level because of the misfires. But then those misfires become a mystery because it turns out that they may not be accidental. Okay? And that is what is going on with this defibrillator device. And like I said, there's a percentage of the story where there's a possibility of very slow burn of romance between Christian and Kate. Now, will Christian, Kate, and Aunt Erm be able to get to the bottom of what's going on with these misfiring, or determining whether they are accidental or is there something nefarious going on? And can they stop these misfirings from taking place before they don't get there in time and somebody loses their life? Now, this book, Fatal Intent, as well as Misfire, is written by a doctor who is a physician and a researcher. So I loved the perspective of Kate as an anesthesiologist trying to show care and concern for her patients. And Kate mainly worked in obstetrics, but she worked wherever she was needed in the hospital. Another thing is, you don't want any medical mystery to be so laden down with medical terminology that it takes away from the enjoyment of the story. And you don't have to worry about that with Misfire or with Fatal Intent. And by the way, I highly recommend you grab Fatal Intent from your library as an ebook or as an audiobook and listen to it before you read Misfire. I think that even though Misfire could work very well as a standalone, because at least 2, maybe 3 times in the story, it does refer back to the fact that Kate, Erm, and Christian solved a medical mystery that involved murders. Okay, so it does allude to that. But if you like the continuity that I do, then you may want to read both books together. So that is Misfire. I am going to edit this video, get it published, and get my book review published on my blog. And I hope that you'll be interested in reading it. You can get this from your Kindle store. It's for $11. Oh, no, it's on sale for $9.20. Oh, no, I have credits. Okay, $11.49, barring my credits. And it is from Ocean View Publishing. And I do hope that there will be a 3rd book in this series. So thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.